Happy Sunday, everyone. And what a miserable weather day this is, gloomy, rainy, and cold. So I thought maybe you might be stuck in your house and looking for something to do. Probably not. But I'm going to go ahead and open up the next week's activities for Forensics 1 in case you want to get a head start on those activities. So I thought I'd just take a couple of minutes of your time and kind of walk you through what we are doing this week. But before I do that, I want to make sure that you guys understand something that both Mr. Gebhardt and Mrs. Otten posted on Friday about the fourth quarter. So, what they mentioned, and I think I may have mentioned it before, but always good to hear it multiple times. But they mentioned that our school is not going to do what some other school systems are doing, which is a pass fail for the fourth quarter. We actually are doing a numerical grade, and if you do not complete a course because you are choosing not to do the activities, you will be given an incomplete. And that means that you're going to be spending summertime or fall time making up those activities that you chose not to do. Now, I was kind of wondering why some of you all seem somewhat checked out and you're not doing new things. Some of you started and did a few activities week 1 and then didn't do a whole lot last week. So I began thinking, why might they be doing that? Well, some of you may just be choosing not to do those activities, which is a mistake because, as I mentioned, you're going to get an incomplete and then you have to spend time to make those up. Not even during possibly the actual school year, maybe even over the summer. And so I'm thinking if you're making that choice, you might want to rethink because it's just a lot easier to just get things done now. And then you'll have to worry about it later. Particularly those of you that are trying to graduate or ultimately will need credit for the course. So if you have checked out, check back in. And you can go back into all of the previous week's folders. So here was our first week, it's pink. And here was our second week, which is purple. And you can go back in and go to Schoology, grade book, see what you're missing. And you can make up any of those activities for no grade penalty. So I think it'd be better to try to do that now than to let it pile up and then try to get caught up later. But then I was also thinking that maybe you are sharing your technology devices with multiple family members, and that's creating a struggle for you. So, excuse me, if that's your case, I would appreciate you letting me know that because maybe I can make some adjustments for you. And then lastly, I was thinking maybe you're just overwhelmed and you feel like I'm giving you too much to do. But I must say that I have really, really tried to be reasonable with the number of activities that I'm requiring you to do each week. Not only the number of activities, but trying to be reasonable with the amount of time that you may be spending trying to get these activities completed. So I actually pretend that I'm a student and I go in and I work all the activities that I'm asking of you and then see how much time it takes and then add time to that because I do realize it probably takes you longer than it would take me simply because, I often know the answers and you may not. And I'm staying well within or maybe even under the amount of time that we've been asked for you to work each week. But that's me, and that's kind of my perspective, and that may not be how you're feeling. So if you are feeling just buried and overwhelmed with the amount of work that I'm giving you, please message me through Schoology or send me an email at story, STOREY _S at my.westclair.org because I just really care about you. And I just get worried and it makes me sad when I see you not completing activities. And I really don't know why that might be happening. So again, you must complete activities. Otherwise, you will be given an incomplete. And that is something that then will hang out there over your head that you ultimately have to get done. And I just don't want that for you. I think it would just be easier just to buckle down and just keep up and just, work through all this. So there you go. Just wanted you to know that I do care about you a lot and just want you to have a good outcome despite the remote learning. So let's talk through what we're doing this week. So when you go to the top of your materials page, there's a new folder. It's kind of yellow gold. It says fourth quarter remote learning, April the 27th through May the 1st. So when you open that up, at the top of every page of my folders will always be directions. So it says start here, please read first. So when you open that, here are all the directions for the 3 activities that you're going to be working on this week for Forensics 1. Now, because I thought it might be kind of a pain for you to have to keep going back to this page and looking at instructions, what I've now started doing is putting your activities in separate folders and then reloading the instructions. So here are activity 1 directions. Just open those up. It's just kind of a repeat of what was on the previous page. And for activity 1, you're going to watch basically 3 different videos. And the first video is on gait. And so that's really kind of a cool thing. So open that up and watch the video. The next video is a variety of different ways that you can lift footprints to take them back to the forensics lab to examine them more closely. And then this is a PowerPoint presentation. So give that a minute to load, that you're going to watch, where I'm going to walk you through our only PowerPoint for this particular topic, shoe prints or footprints. And then with all Edpuzzles, basically you'll go through some information and then it will stop you and ask you to answer questions just to make sure your brain is registering, what you've seen and heard. So what I'm requiring for you for this Edpuzzle is basically for you to not hurry through it. If you need to go back and rewatch, there will be a little button down here once you start that says rewatch. So before selecting your answer, you may want to go back and look at what the information given was again. You also may need to go back and watch these 2 videos again because I have questions on them as well. And so you must get an 80% or better on the Edpuzzle. If that doesn't happen, then I will go in and basically reset your Edpuzzle so that you can take it again. So it's important to take your time, to be thoughtful about answering the questions and not just click on something randomly just to get the activity done. Again, I care about you and I want you to learn. So that's activity 1. So let me go back to the main folder. Activity 2 is basically reading an article. So I'll open that up for you. So there's our article. And you're going to read that. And then I have some questions for you to answer. And notice that it's saying refusing to connect. And so what you may need to do is either click on this little pop-out box. That'll open it up. Or you can click on the title. And it asks you to make a copy so that you don't damage my original copy. And then you're just going to be typing directly on this page. Okay, now something kind of cool that I wanted to show you, and you probably already know how to do this because y'all are so smart. But what you can do is go back over here, go back to the folder, and open up this Forensic Magazine article. So what you can do is you can actually download the article to your desktop. So I just clicked on it, and then I'm going to open it up down here at the bottom. And it's a Word document. So it'll take it a minute to load. And I don't know if you have to do this, but I always get rid of that enable editing. Kind of makes it nice, easier to view. And so now I've got this open and I'm thinking, okay, I'm asking you guys to, wrong thing, sorry about that. Well, that would work. Okay, there we go. So I'm asking you to, answer this activity sheet. and you're thinking, okay, I don't know the answers. And so it's kind of a pain because I don't have a printed out copy of the article. Well, you can do something called alternate tab. On your keyboard is a key that says Alt, A-L-T, alternate. And then there's a key that says tab, T-A-B. And they're on the left-hand side of your keyboard. And you can hit alternate tab, and then you can scroll back and forth or tab back and forth between these two activities. And that way you're thinking like, okay, I don't really know the answer to one. Well, let me go back, and where's gate talked about? Well, here's gate, talked about right here. And so you should be able then to, find the answers to the questions a little bit more easily. So I just thought that might be helpful if you knew, how to do that. Let me go back. Our activity 2. Make sure you know what you're doing. You're going to read the magazine article. You can always print it out too if that's easier than tabbing. And then you're going to answer on the Google Doc. And then you're going to submit your completed question page to the Google Doc submission page. And so your screen's going to look a little differently than mine. But there's a submission here where you basically will just take a picture. No, excuse me, wrong. I think you're just going to upload it to the submissions page. So, but you've done that before. And so y'all are doing a good job with that. All right, back to our main learning page. And then activity 3 is basically where we are going to check and see how everything is going. So I created a little Schoology quiz, and I have the quiz set up so you can take it up to 3 times. Your highest score will be recorded. And we just call that a check for understanding, so I can make sure that we are able to move on to the next part of the shoe print topic. And so again, when you go to activity 3, here's the shoe impression quiz. And it's just a Schoology quiz that you will be taking. So I hope you are doing well. Hope you're staying healthy and not going crazy with this quarantining. And very soon this will be over, hopefully, and we'll get back to life, the normal life that we were used to. But I want you to know that I miss you and that I worry about you. And it's making me sad that some of you all are not completing activities. So unsad me and get going on these things. I also wanted you to know that if you have any questions whatsoever, that you can message me through Schoology or contact me through email. I will be so glad to help you or assist you in any way that you need. So I am going to do a video update later, but I just thought maybe you would like to get a head start on this week's activities. So I shall chat with you later, and thank you for listening to everything I had to say today. So talk to you soon.